Buenos dias, ladies. What's going on? You digging your new spot? What's that you say? You think we should work in the garden today? Yeah? All right, let's do it. Howdy, everybody. So today, since the chickens decided it was a garden day, we're going to make it a garden day. We're actually going to do a couple things. We are going to sow new seeds in the new beds that I created, I guess over the weekend, last week, I don't remember. It's been a long weekend. Also, we are going to flip our first garden bed. So for those that don't know what that term means, it essentially means you take out, harvest, and replace what you had in your bed with another crop. You essentially never want your soil to, have nothing in it. So as soon as you take something out, you want to prep it and kind of like flipping a house, and you make it new and put something new in it. So that's what we're going to do today with this row behind me. The kale is coming out. It actually did try to make a comeback after I used a hydrogen water peroxide solution to help kill the fungus. I took off some dead leaves. It got cool again for several nights, and I think that perked it back up, and it started growing. So I'm going to harvest what I can and keep what I can, and the rest will either go to the chickens and or the compost pile. And then I'm going to replace it with peppers, because today is Peppers Day. So more on that in a little bit, but let's get to it. Okay, so one of the first things is when I want to harvest my kale, I'm not actually going to pull it by the roots unless it's like totally dead and there's not much root in there, because I want to keep the root system in there. When I cut it, I want to cut it below the soil level. Leave the roots there, take the rest off. The roots are going to help keep the nutrients in there. It's also going to not disturb the bed. I've got a whole little microbiome system going on in the soil now. It's all about the soil, and I don't want to mess that up, because if I take that out, I disturb the soil too much, kind of like tilling, which we're trying to avoid. I want to do as minimal damage as possible, and I want to keep as many nutrients in there. Okay, so the other part of what maybe y'all don't know that I'm doing is I didn't do it on the first few because I kind of want to do a test round with a few of the holes, but the rest of them I am going to be adding some coffee grinds, some used, always do them used, don't do them fresh, some eggshells, and I'm going to put both of those in the hole before I put my seed. Why am I doing that? My soil is slightly alkaline, which means it's got a pH of 7.4. It's not that bad for most plants, and the acidity they get from fertilizer and certain mulch like the pine needles and whatnot, when those break down, they will actually raise, or I guess technically lower, my pH to a more slightly neutral to acidic level, which is fine because it is 7.4. Plants do better closer to 7.0. Tomatoes and peppers and such actually do better closer to 6.5. So if I want to get to that, I need to slightly acidify my soil. Used coffee grinds can help do that. They're not overly acidic because they've already been brewed, a lot's been sucked out of them, but they will add other nutrients and slightly raise the acidity, which I'm hoping will happen. And if I put it in directly in the hole versus just across the bed, then I'm controlling where I'm doing that to my soil. What I don't use will go into my compost because it's really good stuff for your compost as well. The eggshells will help with end rot, I believe is what it's called, so that my peppers don't get diseased or less likely to get diseased. You're supposed to grind them up and whatnot. I just crushed them really small. I didn't put them through a grinder or mortar or pestle or anything. They take a long time to decompose anyway, so it's just there as a base, again, to help the plant, a natural way to help prevent disease, and it's good for the soil. It'll enrich them with calcium And then that way when my peppers are done in the garden, I will have even better soil, because it's, again, all about the soil. It's not about plants. It's not about what you're growing. It's about the soil, because without good quality soil, you can't grow anything. I just wanted to show y'all real quick one of the new beds that I built. It's about 4 by 4 feet. And I did this bed the way I did the rest of the garden, where I put the layer of the cardboard first, as you can see over here. I need to put a little bit more mulch on this corner. The cardboard first, smother the weeds and set a good base. And then I put a whole bunch of compost, which is way down deep in there. And then I covered it with at least about 3 inches of mulch. And so I needed to have a lot of compost, because that's going to be my only soil until the cardboard breaks down, which will be several months. But I think it's going to work well for our peppers. So the kale row was jalapenos, and this one will be habanada. And for those who don't know what habanada peppers are, they're like the habanero, which are super hot, but these aren't super hot. These are very flavorful. So we're very excited to have some of these. I want to show you, this one is 3 feet by 9 feet-ish. And I did this one a little bit differently, because there's a lot of ways you can do this cardboard method no-till business. So this one, instead of having the cardboard as the first layer, let's back here, I actually put all my good stuff underneath it. Can y'all see that? So I put the compost and the biochar, which is just, charcoal or burnt wood, not like the charcoal you buy from the store. We had a big burn pile, so we had a lot of good charred wood left. So it's called biochar because it's really good to host microbiome stuff. So I put all that down first, and then I covered it with my cardboard, and then my mulch. And so what we'll do differently with this one is I will poke holes through the cardboard and plant direct into the compost. And I'll do the same thing. I'll add a little bit of eggshell, a little bit of coffee grinds, and that'll be that. Allow me to introduce the newest addition to La Vida Buena Acres. Meet Moana. That's M-O-W-A-N-A, just for clarification purposes. Moana was a gift for, I think, my birthday and Mother's Day all wrapped in one or something, but very, very grateful for this addition. This is a huge thing for us, especially me, since I do all the mowing. But today, Moana and I are taking on the grove. Okay, y'all can see this is the area we're going to take on. All the grass is up to my knees. Well, almost up to my knees, but pretty close. Wish us luck. Holy smokes, y'all. Moana did it. Only 15 minutes later, and the grove is mowed. Y'all, legit, me and Mo, original Mo, it took us about 45 minutes to do this before with such tall grass. Mo's old, gotta prop him up with sticks and stuff sometimes, but man. And Mo still has this place. As you can see, there's still a lot of areas, like around the tree here, around the stump. I had put the chair over the stump so I wouldn't run over it. Moana is just for grass, right? You don't want to run over sticks and everything, and there's a lot of sticks around those trees. So the trees back there, Mo can get between, especially the tree right here and around the firewood and the pit. And then along the path up here, Mo needs to get more into the sides and in between stuff. So there's a place for everyone here, including you. We're hoping to have visitors soon. This is a great camping spot. We shall see.